We are live. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm done. That's it.
All right, we're done with this. We're
I'm
not
done.
doing this. We're
I'm
not
done.
doing this.
I've worked so hard setting this up. Believe me when I tell you, 10 seconds ago, we were running wires, changing seats,
the best in the world.
trying to
At the end of
set
the
it.
week, you will be an entirely
What do I hear?
different
Oh,
person.
yeah,
What happened?
okay, got it. Oh, my YouTube thing started playing. This,
what?
my friends, is what a last-minute, kludged up, jury-rigged live stream looks like.
Nelly,
But we're here. We're here, and I'm here with Dr. Kiltz,
Here we go.
Kiltzy over there on the
okay,
left,
here.
and Nelson Vasquez, Dr. Vasquez, right here beside me, visiting me at my house. Wow,
Hello,
wow, wow.
everyone. Tráeme dos cosas.
It's the best to be with my brothers, and we're sharing healing with our most amazing friend Mitch, who's gone through some challenges, but he's not letting them put him down. He's just getting right back up.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate the support. That you talk about timing this morning. I didn't even know you had a live stream. Wait a minute. Oh, I have a little something. Come on, don't drop it on
All
my
right.
desk. Okay, there we go. All right.
I want to interrupt the regularly scheduled programming
Okay.
to say this live stream today is sponsored by Kiltz Health.
Well, and what do we get out of that? What are we doing with that?
Well, so you mentioned this morning, or yet actually you had mentioned Friday to us in that meeting that we had that Mitch here, old guy Carnivore, had a little trouble spending 5 weeks in the hospital and with the hospital food, and ended up eating. I knew about it already, but I didn't out you out, by the way. But you mentioned it, that you
yeah.
started eating ice cream, and there wasn't other food available. All the hospital food. So
Look what he got for me.
this is exclusively
We're
to
back.
use, yeah. This is exclusively to use for making Kiltz ice
ice
cream.
cream.
Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
it. I love
Gonna
it.
have some of that too. I
So
don't believe it. Oh, thank you.
all that is needed is heavy whipping cream and eggs.
That's it.
Now, if you want to
So
put
simple.
anything extra there, you can.
Oh, that's
But-
great. That's great. Thank you. And oh
So-
my God, look at this.
I also stopped at one of your favorite stores. I know you go there frequently. It's very close to here, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So I
look at
said,
that.
well, I got to give him something else.
Yeah.
So
Oh yes.
we have some ribeye steak. Now, unfortunately, the fat is pretty much trimmed,
Oh,
you know, because it usually has more of a fat cap, but it's prime beef
looks delicious.
Nice.
ribeye.
Thank you.
Okay?
It
Wow.
looks
I
pretty
meant-
marbled. It looks pretty marbled. It looks really
The-
fantastic.
Yeah. It looks
That give you at least 2, if not 4 meals. I don't know how much
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
you eat. So that's from Kiltz and Kiltz Health.
My thanks to Kiltz Health.
And Dr. Nelson, we're all doing this together. We're
Oh,
brothers,
wow.
and seeing what you've gone through, Mitch, and come through it with a bright eye, and getting right back live to share with your brothers and sisters who truly love listening to you, and buying you a cup of coffee, a cup of Java. It's really important
Yeah.
to all of us, and you know the hardships. And none of us know what's going to hit any of us. And I was talking to my live today. We don't know. None of us do.
You know, and you don't know what the cause of it. That's the most amazing thing about the stroke. Everybody is so quick on the draw to say they know what caused it. The carnivore diet. It can't be anything else. And then yet, when every doctor that I had, I said, have you read all the test results? Have you read everything about this stroke? Yes. What caused it? It's a simple question, isn't it? You think a doctor would know what caused it? Not one single doctor had any idea. They could only speculate. And some of the theories they came up with were wild, were technically impossible. They blame it on cholesterol. How can you blame it on cholesterol? Well, cholesterol makes your blood sticky. Does anybody ever have sticky blood?
It's grease.
Crazy. That's crazy. Well, nobody knew what it was. And since it's right where I had that humongous hematoma removed 3 years ago, that's where the stroke happened. The most obvious answer to me was maybe there was some capillary damage in there left over from them cutting that huge blood clot out of my head. That would seem to me to be the most logical and explainable reason for this stroke. Not one single doctor of 10 or 15 even knew or even thought to connect this stroke to that. They all, without fail, one put me on a statin right away. Emergency. You got to get your cholesterol way down, or else you have another stroke tomorrow. That was their impetus. One doctor I had even said to me that he is an advocate for putting statins in the drinking water. This is the guy that's telling me what I need to do for my health, is the guy that advocates statins in all drinking water. The lunacy is unbelievable, and it's frustrating.
Let me theorize and speculate a little.
Okay.
How long have you been carnivore?
2.5 years.
Okay.
More, a little more.
And you've mentioned this before many times. So how old are you? How old are you right now?
78 next month.
78.
Ooh, young guy.
So for over 75 years of your life, you did not have this way of eating.
Well, I really did, because I was low carb for 50 years.
Yeah. Okay.
High fat, high meat, high protein.
So as we age, first of all, you don't have it's totally false that you will have a stroke just from the cholesterol, okay? The cholesterol is a risk factor for atherosclerosis, which doesn't happen overnight, okay? And a hemorrhagic stroke is a different story, but atherosclerosis is the plaque formation.
Right.
And the ultimate highest risk of having atherosclerosis, a cardiovascular event, is not cholesterol. Cholesterol is just a minor associated risk. If we go to hazard ratios, is 1.38.
Yeah.
Whereas diabetes, for example, is 11.
Right.
Almost 11. That means 1,100% more. Whereas maybe cholesterol, even if it was true, the story is at 38% compared to 1,100%. Okay? So, and atherosclerosis doesn't happen overnight. It takes many years. Okay? So, we cannot necessarily blame the cholesterol. Okay? The story with the statins, I'll give you very briefly statistics, and you can look this up in the atorvastatin or the Lipitor package insert. I'm taking stat right out of the studies that were used to get it approved. Okay? Your absolute risk reduction for primary prevention is 1.1% over 3 years, because the study lasted 3.3 years or something like that. Okay? That's the only true risk reduction. I theorize that small percentage has to do more with the anti-inflammatory effect and anticoagulant effect that Lipitor has, which is very minor, but it's a small amount,
Yeah.
much more than the cholesterol reduction. Okay?
Wouldn't you get pretty much the same effect from a baby aspirin?
Well, you recommend people statins plus the aspirin. It could be 81 or
Okay.
325. I still take an aspirin 325 milligrams
You
every
take
day.
a big aspirin. Okay.
Okay. So for secondary prevention, once you've had one stroke, and we're trying to prevent a heart attack and a brain attack. By the way, a heart attack and a stroke are the same process, whether it's the brain or the heart, okay? It's narrowing of the arteries
Yeah,
for whatever
okay.
reason. The statistics are a little bit better on atorvastatin. It's 2 to 4% risk reduction. Absolute risk reduction. Forget about relative risk
Yeah, I
reduction
agree.
because
I
that's
agree.
a manipulation of statistics by the pharmaceutical companies. And I don't think it has to do with the cholesterol reduction. I think it has to do, which is another hour lecture on how Lipitor does have some anti-inflammatory and anticoagulant effects, which are minor. But so I wouldn't blame anyone. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to take. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I got it. I came the day I had my stroke. I never saw it until I never saw it until I got back from the hospital, got back home, and opened it the other day, and there it was.
All right, because I thought
I didn't want to forget to thank you for this, Kiltz. It's beautiful. It's big. It's perfect. Perfect.
Okay, good. I thought I had not finished it yet, so because I have another more pots coming.
You do know that my wife is here. I don't know if she's listening where she's sitting, but you haven't made her cup, by the way.
Yeah, come
Okay,
on. Let's get
so
on the
You're
ball.
getting me into trouble. Let me finish what I was saying.
Yeah.
So, for secondary prevention, once you've had a stroke, another stroke is less likely on a 2 to 4% if you take the. I wouldn't blame you. You don't have to say if you're going to do that or not.
No, I want to talk to you.
I know you didn't do it.
I want to talk to you about that right now.
But the numbers are not exactly big, but I've been exactly where he is. Because 6.5 years ago, I had a stroke, okay?
You mean you were that good looking?
Not as much as you.
What happened?
Not as much as you. So, was this
I'm
caused
rolling
by the
around
carnivore diet? I don't think so. There were some things already in his system. And even if it was the associated risk, I can give you a list of 12 things that are associated risk for cardiovascular event. And LDL cholesterol makes number 11.
Yeah, Ken Berry published that.
Yeah, it's not original from him. It's from a study
he put it
that was the paper was by Professor Tim Oakes. Tim Noakes. By the way, we need to get him, Dr.
Yes.
Kiltz.
and you sent me the chart from that.
I sent you the
did,
chart.
yeah, and I
so
showed- and I
LDL
sh-
cholesterol was number 12 in that list.
Right. And I showed that to the doctor there. You know
There are
what he
10 other things that need to be better. Even if you consider that LDL cholesterol, that's another story, another conspiracy theory, which is not that much well, it might be conspiracy, but it's not so much a theory. It's almost a fact that the companies have concentrated on that because there are medicines to lower cholesterol. The evidence in studies done with corn oil and with soybean oil, yes, and canola oil, yes, they lower cholesterol, but maybe they increase the rates of all-cause mortality and strokes. So I don't know. The jury's out.
All right,
I'm done.
All right, good. Now, a couple of things on that. You sent me that chart.
Yes.
Showed it to a couple of doctors. They said, it doesn't mean anything. I can make a chart saying anything. Okay?
Well-
and to that I said,
That was out of a study.
Wait a minute, let me finish. When they came up with that logic, saying, I can make a chart saying anything, I said, do you hear what you just said? You show me a chart And then you tell me the charts are worthless. Make up your mind, Doc. Which is it? And that's how I attack these guys. I attack them with their own bullshit. Okay, because it's all bullshit. I said, you're right. I have no idea whether my chart is right and your chart is wrong, or vice versa. But neither do you. Don't show me charts, please.
This is why Dr. Kiltz likes to say that it is all BS.
It's all BS.
Now, this quote is attributed to Mark Twain. I don't know if it's true or not, but he said there are lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Yeah. We got 290 people watching.
Whoa.
Wow.
Whoa. Well, we all love you, Mitch, and I'm telling you, you inspire us. And just 5 minutes with Mitch every day, having a cup of coffee with Mitch is just a game changer. So
I appreciate
we
that.
love you so much. And simple, just being there and sharing the story.
So now I have 2 doctors in the house and 1 patient. That's me. I want to ask your advice, and I want to tell you what the doctors left me with. I checked out of the rehab. They sent me home with 2 prescriptions. One of them was for Zocor, atorvastatin or whatever.
That's simvastatin.
20 milligrams. And they said that was a low dose. Is that indeed a low dose?
Yeah.
Okay. The doctor said...
Not low. It's more of a medium low.
The doctor said, I said, why do I need that? You're not going to get my cholesterol down in any meaningful way in a short period of time anyway. My LDL is like 350. It's always been astronomical, especially on Carnivore. Why do I need to take it? And he told me pretty much what you just said. He said it's a small improvement in inflammatory and anti-clotting response secondary treatment.
There is a caveat with that. Did you ask him, Doc, how effective is this on someone who's 78 years of age?
Well, that's another thing. Usually, when you get up into this age group, they basically anybody who's a realist say
there's no benefit.
No,
and studies show that.
You take a statin. Okay, so what I'm trying to do. Remember, I told you a couple of days, yesterday or a day before, Kelsey, and I said that I was feeling no energy. I was feeling horrible. They had me on this beta blocker. My blood pressure is normal. Nobody could tell me why I was taking it. I asked the doctor, why am I taking a beta blocker? He said, well, you came with it over to the rehab. I said, came from where with it? I've never taken a beta blocker in my life. Well, evidently,
so maybe they put you on the hospital.
They did. On the hospital.
The beta blocker in the hospital.
One of the 15 doctors who I never saw again, they came in to visit and kept throwing drugs at me, kept writing prescriptions, and they kept filling them. And then as I moved on, it was assumed that was something that I'd been taking all my life. So I said to the doctor there, well, I don't need it. Get rid of it. Well, no, I'm not so fast. Not so. Once those guys get you on drugs.
Oh, we just keep adding. We keep adding drugs.
They're so afraid that you may stop taking the drug and something happens and then you sue them. They're practicing defensive medicine so hard that they're killing the patients. They're killing people. And I had to be thrown in the pit with the patients and observe them for 2+ weeks to see just how egregious it is. And everything that I'm telling you on my videos, we're talking about my experiences in the hospital, I'm actually underplaying. It was horrific and heartbreaking. But they just keep doing this stuff. I don't know. Well, anyway, I decided I don't need a beta blocker. So two nights ago, I said, if this kills me, that's my fault. But I think I can't see one reason why I need to take a beta blocker because I had a stroke when my blood pressure is normal. So I stopped taking the beta blocker 2 nights ago. I woke up this morning with energy I couldn't believe. All of that feeling of wanting to pass out and it went away. And I've been going like a freight train today. And I attribute it to those beta blockers.
the drugs will take you down.
Man,
And then we have another drug to counteract those side effects, and then another one for those side effects. So at the end of the day, it's a sad state of the medical system in the world, and America is one of the worst, unfortunately. So what do we do? The first thing you do, you get to the emergency room, and they're going to throw you with 5 or 10 medications pretty quickly. Some of them are just
send me a coaster.
acute, and others are going to be more long term. But saying, hey, let's stop everything. Let's see what's going on with this patient with nothing. When was the last time we did that, Dr. Nelson?
Yeah, they don't unsubscribe, unprescribe, and they don't even. It's interestingly enough, if you watch. This is another thing I noticed as I watched the morning news. It's become all medical commercials. Commercials for hospitals. Want you to come to their hospital when you got cancer. Commercials for every kind of drug known to man. And now they're not even using the words ask your doctor.
Yeah, just this drug is good for what you have.
Tell your doctor what you want to be on this drug.
No, they're saying, and this is scary.
Oh.
They're saying, ask your prescriber, not your doctor. They're saying, ask your prescriber, because so many organizations like Weight Watchers and people like that are now prescribing Ozempic and other drugs. They don't even, it's like you don't even have to be a doctor now to prescribe drugs. You can be a nurse practitioner. They've got armies of people lined up that aren't medical doctors.
There are whispers about AI doing prescription.
Yeah, exactly. So what chance do we stand? Now, I also heard that RFK Jr. is proffering a ban on all drug advertising on television.
I've always been in disagreement of this advertising, because now, for example, they have jingles and fun commercials for medications, telling people who may not know much about the medications how wonderful it will be for you to be on this medication. There is a lot of nuance when the doctor decides, I'm going to pick this medication to give you.
It's sort of like
after taking into consideration, even if you needed a medication, after taking into consideration the multiple alternatives. Okay, just because it's a TV ad doesn't mean it's the best. The best choice might be a very old medication. Okay.
They all dance. You ever notice that they're all dancing in these? They're dancing and they're happy. They're singing and they're taking drugs.
Well, we must commend them. And Polish Mike T just comments that here you are, and we in some way there was some value to our modern medical system, and that's the good part. So to the men and women doing the healthcare, it's great. At the same time, we have to question a lot of the throwing of the drugs and just the willy-nilly, and not getting back to, hey, why don't we do something different here and maybe minimize the medications and do something different? Isn't that what we're really talking about?
Let me clarify, Mike, to Polish Mike. Let me clarify my position on doctors and medical care. Doctors have saved my life a couple of times. Even though I blame the medical establishment's neglect for the fact that a small brain bleed that I had was ignored until it became a huge hematoma requiring brain surgery, I'm not happy about. But the doctor who removed it from my brain saved my life. I consider those kind of doctors to be mechanics. They're not writing prescription. They're fixing broken things. Thank God for those. Thank God for the people who put us together when we bust ourselves up in an accident. I have a metal plate and 5 screws in this wrist, and it works perfectly and never bothered me. The guy was a genius. I love that guy. Those ambulance drivers that took me into the hospital, thank God for them. The people that rushed me in the hospital, the trauma doctors, they know their stuff. They know how to keep a heart beating. They know the basics. But once you get through that first line and they shuffle you into the custodial care side, where they're putting you in a hospital room, they're starting to feed you. They're starting to have every doctor come in and see you once a day and start prescribing medicine. And they want to take over your entire physiology, your diet, and your lifestyle. That's where my problem lies. So don't get me wrong when I talk about how bad the medical system is. We definitely, I've needed doctors in my life. I get in more trouble than anybody.
Well, my TEDx talk was called The Human Ferrari. And part of that is equating us to a car in a sense. And what you put in it damages the car more so than anything we know. And I'm a mechanic. I went to obstetrics and gynecology because I loved surgery. And I found that there was a lot there to fix. And a lot of what we did was sort of taking care of a lot of acute problems that would come up, and many times we're helping fix things, tumors and cysts that are all caused by goitrogenic foods, and the goitrogens are the plant substances that we know damage the thyroid gland simply by removing them. I mean, how when do they ask you, Mitch? Can you tell us exactly what you eat? Did that even question come up?
No. The subject of nutrition it's obvious that they just feed you sugar. Everything is sugar. And if there isn't enough sugar in the meals that they feed you, every hallway's got a little alcove, and in that alcove is a refrigerator freezer. And in that refrigerator freezer are hundreds of these cups, 4-ounce ice creams, chocolate and vanilla, lemon lime sherbet, water ice, and fruit cup with syrup and sugar jello.
And how many beef jerkies?
Fruit? No. We got all fruit juice. All say Mott's or Dole or something like that on them. There's all sugar. There's every kind of juice known to man in there. And fruit juice, cranberry juice, orange juice, apple juice. All of it is sugar. There's not a snack in the entire facility that isn't all carbohydrates.
It's crackers. I know in my surgery suite that my team, and I try to take it away from them, but they're also used to, they need sugar, they need crackers, they need all these things, and my new one that I'm working on is to bring on the water, and if they want a little bit of a mineral supplement, that we can add the mineral salts with small amounts of stevia if they insist on that. But that might be all we should be giving. We got to change it up. I agree.
It's terrible, and they consider that normal. Now I've heard in a lot of places that what they do is they just let those people eat all the sugar they want because they know they're addicts. They know that it makes them happy, and a happy patient doesn't bug them as much. And then they just figure, well, as long as they're here, we'll just dose them with enough insulin to counteract all the sugar they eat. And that's what they're doing. So my poor roommate, his sugar was routinely over 200 from all the shit he was eating, and they just give him 3 units, 4 units of insulin every day. And he just acted like, well, that's the way you handle sugar. There's no problem with eating sugar as long as you can just dose more insulin. It's criminal. It's absolutely criminal.
Well, the system. I mean, we don't know the cause of disease, but we know a lot of drugs that are going to sort of give us numbers that we can all sleep with. And Dr. Nelson could comment on this. I mean, what's our ability to predict who's going to get what disease when and how long you're going to live?
None. We can predict a risk percentage on certain populations based on studies that may not be completely accurate. But the best we can do is say, oh, you have maybe a 1% or a 10% risk of this. But we have no idea who's going to get what. And I was talking to one of my sons yesterday. He's asking me something about there's some doctors that suggest that smoking might be even good for you. And, you know,
Yeah, I love it.
the truth is there are, and not 100% of the people that smoke are going to have cancer either. Okay? George Burns
10%.
lasted 100 years smoking on
Yes.
TV. You mentioned always Dr. Kiltz, your grandmother. Can you come behind me?
You're
So now tell him directly he hasn't made your kid's cup.
I made it. It's being shipped. It's being shipped. It's being shipped.
This is why I know I'm not perfect. She tells me every day for 40 years.
That's nice. That's very nice. Let me show you, guys, just so you, for grins, because I can. I'll push a button up here and show you what we're sitting from. Lean forward. Here we are. We're both here sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
back-
I love that. I love that. 100%.
We're sitting back far enough from the camera that they can pick up both of us.
Yeah.
So that's
I mean, I can move forward, but
yeah. But I got the wheelchair
got-
here, and he can't get close enough. But anyway, that's what we look like here.
Well. So, would you bet any money on any patient the exact length of time they will live or die, and what diseases?
not a chance because the numbers are more that you won't get something than that you would get it in most cases. Now, we have to be realistic. 100% of the people that smoke, some will have cancer, some will have emphysema, COPD. They will have pulmonary fibrosis. They might have lip cancer, tongue cancer, esophageal cancer, bladder cancer. So when you add all the possible things and risks of what you may have, you're going to have a heavy disease burden. But there's no way I can tell you you're going to get that.
No, none of us are. But we will guarantee this: your odds of living to 150 are zero.
Well, speak for yourself, Kiltz.
Okay. Well, actually, the reason is because I will live forever.
No, you're absolutely right. None of us are going to get out of this alive.
No, right? And so ultimately,
Hey, look,
we're
Professor K.
Bart K's in the
Bart
house.
K's in the house.
Professor.
Hey, Bart, how are you, my friend? Long time no see.
Hello, Professor.
I'm going to be down in April 26th down in Melbourne, and hoping to see Professor K and so many people down
I
there.
had it. Where'd it go?
You had it. Yeah, right there. Yeah. There we go.
There you go. Yes, sir. Hey, Doc, he's talking to you, Kiltz, not me.
Oh, we're all talking.
Be that way. And Tuca, True Bear Carnivore from South America's here with us. Hiya, Tuca. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah. How many people do we have right now?
Wait a minute, I'll tell you. We have, let me get rid of that. We have 410 total people.
Yeah.
I have 323 on my channel alone. Whoa.
That's
How about that?
Mitch. That's why we're here.
Why? Because people seem to think that I'm entertaining.
Well, you're much more entertaining than Kiltz.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No.
You did pretty good on that live stream today. I was watching.
I had a fun time. But look it is because everyone here is important and sharing your story. But you have an amazing energy, my brother, and we love listening to you and watching you because you're honest, you're unique, you're creative, and you're a pain in the ass sometimes.
No, stop. Stop.
Yeah, don't say that anymore.
Maybe his channel should have been Cranky Old Guy Carnivore.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I have that logo with the old guy with the sour puss and the cigar in his mouth. You know?
I told Malcolm we love your music. I love your.
Yeah. We gotta work on an intro and an outro.
We'll take this break for a short musical interlude. How about this one? It's the old guy dance party. Smoke it if you got it. Oh yeah, man, you give Mitch a mixer and we have trouble.
Well, I guess the next one is we're going to go on the road with this one. Is that right? I think we can do it. Mitch is the star and he's got us as backup.
Oh,
we're like this in the background, Nelson.
In what world does something like that actually happen?
And we got Lisa doing mopping her floors, and she's dancing away with Ken. And it's like Lisa and Ken are amazing, energized. And the more and more that each and every one of us is sharing the stories, but just hanging out. I will drive to work in the morning and listen to Mitch from the yesterday. I drive at 3:30 to 4 o'clock. I'm listening to Mitch. And I think we want, and the beauty of YouTube is we can do this in ways that nobody else is doing.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm not up to doing it every day yet, but I am making a video almost every day. I've got so many stories. The next story I'm going to tell on my next video is about the 911 call.
Ooh.
Oh my God, you will not believe.
You want to do it by yourself?
You want to give us a teaser? Do we get a teaser and then people
I'll tell you, it started, I was going to have my second meal of the day. I went in the kitchen, I put a frying pan on the stove, I put a hamburger patty in the pan, I put one of those screen splatter guards on top of it. I walked over, I sat down on the couch while I waited for the hamburger to start cooking and had a stroke. Right then. And I was paralyzed. And
wow.
The rest of the story is unbelievable. But the whole thing happened with me worried about not only dying there, but my house burning down because the thing on the stove set off every smoke alarm. The house was full of smoke. It was crazy, and it's worth hearing. I try to put humor in everything, and if anybody can find humor in a situation like that, I guess it's me, because I found some in there, and I think you'll love to hear the story. But I've been saving that one. That's a good story.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Yeah. And Bill Cook would love to know if any of Mitch's doctors or nurses are watching, because I know they love taking care of you, Mitch, no matter what. Right? No matter what. There's humor in Mitch's day, and he just won't be quiet, will he? Can't get him off the air.
No, boy, it was eye pain in their ass. And I got that certified. I told you yesterday, in my video, I got a certified letter from the administrator of that hospital apologizing to me. Of course,
for what?
Well, because of the way they treated me. They made a federal case out of it. They tried to turn me into a bad guy. They were trying to tell me I was dangerous. The nurses were afraid of me. Bullshit. When the truth finally came out, they all owed me an apology, and he wrote me a certified letter. But I think it was more cover your ass for the lawyers than anything else.
Well, here's what I always tell people. We're taking care of sick people. who not only physically but emotionally, psychologically have different expressions than their normal day to day. So wouldn't it be, especially a stroke, could it affect your ability to listen and speak in the way that they expect you to?
Of course.
Of course it is. So, they're here probably telling you, do this, but you don't. Gee, could that be from your stroke? Yes.
They treat you like children, especially when you're older. You're older, they treat you like
So you don't
children.
know anything.
You don't know anything. How could you? These no respect. I mean, there are some great people. Again, don't get me wrong. When I talk about the bad ones, that doesn't mean there weren't some really compassionate, terrific, nice, wonderful people that were there. But you don't focus on them. You focus on the ones that aggravate the piss out of you, and that's who you tend to talk about. I've read every comment. I may not have answered them personally, but I gave my heart. Read every comment on the last 4 or 5 of my videos talking about those hospitals. The hospital stay, hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of people expressed the same exact treatment that I've talked about in that video. And I think it makes people feel a little less, how do you say, unique or pregnant, knowing that it wasn't just them. I think that's something that we all need to hear.
Well, let me just say something about the doctors, the nurses, the staff at the hospitals. They're also under a tremendous amount of stress. They overwork. They're not getting the accolades and the support I think they need. And unfortunately, they're all trained in a way that is opposite than the way we believe we should all be fed and lifestyle and things like that. So, we're already going in on an opposite direction than they have. But I think in general, they want to do good, but they've been trained to do it wrong, and they don't have enough support in the sense of enough staffing. And I think we need to find ways to educate the medical system on hey, let's show you something you may not believe in the keto carnivore space.
Well, and not all problems are equal. But I got to tell you, there are some problems that are more equal than others. When you got to go, you got to go. I'm sorry. When you got to go to the bathroom, you got to go. Now they got you in a bed with an alarm on it. You're not allowed to get out of bed, and half the time you're not ambulatory. You can't get to the bathroom. When you push the nurse's button and 45 minutes go by and nobody comes to see you, that is inexcusable. Now, if you want a glass of orange juice and you push the button, that's a different story. But when you are suffering and have to go to the bathroom, and so what these people finally...
And I was there for one of those occasions.
Yeah, and finally, what these people do finally is they just go into bed. And then they go on the nurse's shit list. You messed up the bed.
Oh,
You're on my shit list now. What are we? Were we 2 years old, like in nursery school, being punished, stand in a corner, no, you can't go to the bathroom? They do not respond to the call button. I would go out in the hallway outside my room. They got a light over the door. Every light over every door was on, and there were no nurses to be seen. Why? Well, maybe there's not enough nurses. Hire more nurses. What do you charge? I got to talk to you about the bills, the cost of this little adventure of mine. I got some of the bills for the emergency room, just for the emergency room, and the tests, $64,000. I got them right here.
wow.
$64,000 for what amounted to 2 or 3 hours in the emergency room. This is before they even sent me to a room. This was just the emergency room on 28th, the first day I went in. 60. Now, that's what they billed.
Are you like me on Medicare?
Now, I have Medicare and I have the VA. So the VA takes
Okay.
care, and nobody cuts the nuts out of these people like the VA does. I'll tell you, that $64,000 became $4,000 total by the time the VA got done saying, we'll pay this, and that's it. And then in big letters at the bottom of the bill, it says, the veteran is not to be charged a dime.
Yeah.
So we're the big bad government, and this is what we're going to pay you. If you don't like it, sorry.
The uninsured are the sufferers in this.
Absolutely.
And they're going to get a $64,000 bill, and they have no real mechanism how to take care of that and fix that. And the leading cause of bankruptcy in America is medical debt, and quite commonly it's emergency rooms.
Crazy. You know, this CT scan, 8,000, 12,000. It's crazy. I have 10 bills here. 10 separate bills came in 10 separate envelopes for $137 and change. They're all for exactly the same amount of money, and the description says miscellaneous medical service. Doesn't even tell you what it was for. I got 10 bills for $137. The VA paid $77. So they paid $700 and something for miscellaneous medical service. That could have been anybody putting a bill in for anything, whether I got it or not. No way to check this out. It's really.
And I'm not trying to be an apologist for the healthcare system in general. They do a lot of good things in general, but there are many things that could be done better. As far as cost, a year and a half ago, I had my latest something. I had surgery and all that. I'm still paying bills, by the way, Dr. Kiltz, from a year and a half ago. Okay, and subsequent procedures I've had, but it can be very straining on.
Well, ask
on
them.
budget.
Ask a hospital how much is this going to cost for anything, right? Can anyone give you a straightforward answer for any of it?
No, they got. I mean, an aspirin is like $12. It's crazy.
Oh, I brought my own. No, you can't use your own.
You can't use your own,
Sorry. And what about food from the outside? Did anyone sneak in a tomahawk?
Well, they allowed food from the outside. My son, I mean, I tried to eat bacon and eggs, but you know that the eggs they were giving me were cooked in seed oils, and the bacon was probably more sugar than
Or
bacon.
Was it turkey bacon?
It might have been. It might have been.
Right. So it's always either turkey bacon or it's eggs in a carton.
Yeah, powdered eggs or liquid eggs.
Powdered eggs, liquid eggs. Right. That's kind of what it is.
Now they assured me that these were real eggs. Okay, I said, I think they were. They made them scrambled. I think it was real eggs, but I said, and they're cooked in butter, aren't they? And of course, she said, yeah. They didn't taste like. So I had my son on a couple of occasions. He came in one day with a Tupperware thing full of pulled pork that he made, and the next day he came in with bacon and eggs that he cooked. Real eggs, real bacon, using real butter. But that was such a pain that, I just kept ordering. And I got to the point when they came and took my food order, I would just say, I want 6 eggs, 4 sausage, and 4 slices of bacon. And they would bring me a plate of eggs, enough to choke a horse. You wouldn't believe it. And that's all I ate in the rehab was bacon and eggs. But I got hooked on the ice cream.
If they made Kiltz's ice cream with just cream, eggs, and a little bit of vanilla bean, and putting in some burnt butter, oh my God!
They had the little cups, 4-ounce cups, with the pull lid, paper lid. The worst ice cream you could ever imagine. It had no fat in it whatsoever. It was, it was all chemicals. It was. When you got it out of the freezer, it was so hard, you couldn't poke it with a spoon. You had to let it thaw out for a half an hour first.
Your son is a hospital administrator?
No, my son used to be on the board of directors
Okay.
of a local hospital, but that local hospital chain was competing with the Advent Health System, which now is also a partner of Health First, which is my Medicare. So I am now part of the Advent Health System. The Seventh-day Adventists have finally got in charge of my healthcare system. Okay, this one small chain of 3 or 4 hospitals was the only hospital in town that wasn't theirs. They bought them and closed them. They closed them,
That's what
claiming they're just too old to rehab and make it financially worthwhile. So they bought them and closed them, and my son's position on the board of directors went away. There's no more board of directors of that small hospital chain.
and part of the system of medicine, we overbill the insurance companies. And part of that reason is because there's no set known pricing on how much we're going to get paid. And so rather than give them, so if I charge them this much, they're going to pay me less anyway. And so there's no transparency. But the venture capital system controls the medical system of America. And it's a system of making money and profits over people and healthy men and women.
Well, they definitely have a system, and they want everybody to participate in it. Unfortunately.
So we got Mitch here healthy, Nelson. Tell it's great to be visiting. What do we have in store for our next coming Mitch lives or recordings?
Well, I'm going to start doing two morning coffees a week. All right, and I'll probably do the next one on Tuesday. When was the last one? When did I do that first one? Thursday or Friday? But I want to try to split the week up into 2. It is taxing. I'm getting more energy and I'm feeling better.
Take it easy.
The main hurdle I have now is I've got to get my mobility back. I've got to be able to walk again without assistance, which I can't do yet. But considering that about less than 4 weeks ago, I was completely, well, I got to answer the phone to my daughter.
You get it.
You talk now.
Yeah, I mean,
Hello.
basically we take it
doing a live
easy. We
stream.
know that the fans want to see him.
I'm in the middle of a live stream right now.
We can wait a
I
minute.
will.
We can wait
Okay,
a
bye.
minute. Let's wait a minute.
All right, there you go. Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
So once or twice a week, if you can do that, that's fine.
But
Yeah.
the fact you're here with us, we appreciate you, Mitch. And we talked the other day. Take some naps. I actually we were supposed to do this at 3, but it moved to 4. So you know what I did?
Took a nap.
Took a nap. I'm like,
Not me. I ran around like a chicken with my head cut off, getting everything set up for it. But I'm going to rest. I'm going to rest most of tomorrow. Tomorrow I've got the girl that cleans my house is coming, and this place really needs to be cleaning. So she's going to be here doing all that stuff, and I'm going to be relaxing, just staying out of her way.
well, you get plenty of rest. And I think that's recovery. And I tell it, people are like, well, my knee's hurting. I'm saying, well, rest it.
Yeah.
It says pain. And when you're tired, it says, please rest me.
Yeah.
What
You
did we?
need it. Yeah, one of the things that is so sad about the hospital is they have lost sight of the importance of peace, quiet, and sleep. In fact, not only have they lost sight of it, if you bring it up, they think it's absurd. I had that reaction from the nurses. I said, she said to me, that's not what we do in the hospital. What do you mean? That's not what we do. We try to fix you. There's plenty of time to rest after we fix you. That's their attitude. Well, if you're in there for 3 weeks getting fixed, you could die from lack of rest. You know, they need. What is a reason that they have to draw blood at 3:30 in the morning? It's all at the convenience of the staff and not a consideration of the patient. That was one of the main things that I noticed. If I was a consultant, a hospital consultant, God, it would take a 400-page report for me to write up everything that I would suggest they do a little differently in the name of patient recuperation. But, you know, what do I know? What do I know? They reawakened my sugar addiction and fed me so much garbage I thought I was going to die in there. That's what they managed to do for me.
Well, I wonder if instinctually our sugar addiction is in sickness. It says, eat these things to gain some fat, because in sickness you're at risk of not eating.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, it's all instinctual, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I talk about that all the time, about the fact that the sugar addiction is probably the oldest addiction that the human animal has, because it comes from the days when we relied on sugar for survival.
That's right.
And since a human body can only store about a day's worth of glucose, that's all. You know, in the muscles, in the muscles of the liver, your subconscious probably thinks you're going to die tomorrow if you don't get more sugar, and it becomes an imperative.
Well, it's the imperative is to get fat. The imperative is to get fat.
Yeah, and
I don't think our glucose stores are ever an issue. This is never an issue, because every cell of our body actually has sugars in the glycocalyx. I just don't think that's our issue. Our real issue for the first 3.5 million years was no fat. You were dead. And so that's really it. Our scientific modern approach to the human body and nutrition is completely false. Sugar's never your energy. The glucose stored in our liver has nothing to do with anything. It really is your body. And people who get obese have nothing wrong with them. That they're actually physiologically working perfectly, because if you did not get some fat on your body for the first 3.5 million years, you were fertilizer first.
Yeah, you got a point. Yeah, you got a point there.
That's it, right? And so I don't even think we have a sugar addiction. We have an overabundance of food problem. That's all it is. That's all it is, right? You know, is Coca-Cola, I mean, we're drinking our calories. I mean, and even take ice cream, right? Let's take ice cream. I mean, it's milk from a breast, but you had that for the first, 1 to 5, probably 3 to 5 years, and that was about it. And milk's made to get your fat.
Yeah.
Right?
For babies.
And grow.
Yeah, right.
I don't need to grow anymore.
All right.
Definitely.
Mitch, we got to let you go. We got to let you go get some rest, my brother.
Yeah, can you tell I'm kind of petering out here?
It's all good. We've spent some good amount of time. Where you're going to get some rest, Dr. Nelson and his beautiful wife. Thank you for spending some time with Mitch, and we're all here watching reruns. We love the music, and you get some rest, my brother, and we'll keep sharing. And I think we'll be live tomorrow morning, Dr. Nelson.
Yes.
All right.
5
cool.
o'clock.
At
5 o'clock, and tomorrow it's a double feature, because if you go to drkiltz.com and sign up for the free Kiltz Mighty Tribe at 5:30, you'll be able to see us again. Are you going to be there in the afternoon?
Yeah, I should be there tomorrow evening too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So 5:30 Eastern time. Be
Love
there
you.
or be square.
You guys are trying to take over the internet, huh?
We're trying to take over, but we're only on the coattails of old guy Carnivore.
No, come on.
We're there with you, my
Kizzy,
brother.
You're doing some great things, and you're growing beautifully, and
You get
And we're going to add some more Zoom calls, but you have to be a member to find out.
Yeah. Well, and the other is, Mitch, when we can get you up my stairs in my plane, I'm taking you up in the jet.
Oh, that a boy.
We're
I
gonna get you.
I can climb stairs. All right, give me another month. I'll be
right.
flying. I'll be flying the damn plane.
We'll get you up in the front in the right seat with me.
Oh,
For
man.
sure, my brother.
You're all right. You're all right. Well, I can't wait to see you again. I hope it's sooner rather than later. And thanks for coming on with me today. It's been a great surprise and an absolute pleasure. Thank you for my presence and my steaks.
We love you.
I mean it like a man. Thanks, Kiltz.
All right,
take care. You take care, my friend.
God bless everyone.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
All right, and that leaves us. So let me play us out with a little bit of happy music. You're gonna like this. This is very Latino
my music.
Latin American, yeah. A stroke has not taken my rhythm away from me. I got bongos in the other room to prove it. Oh, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm trying to reach up here for the mixer. We're sitting back away from the desk. Thank you so much for coming. Wonderful, wonderful attendance this afternoon for a surprise live stream on a Sunday afternoon unannounced. I'll be back probably Tuesday morning with Morning Coffee with Mitch, and tomorrow I'll be releasing a video. You don't want to miss it. It's the most unbelievable 911 story and adventure that you ever heard. And in some respects, I'm lucky to be alive today.
Good.
It really was scary. So that'll be coming out tomorrow. I'll see you all Tuesday morning. Nelson, you're going to be on with Kiltz tomorrow morning?
Yeah, 5 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. in our Kiltz Mighty Tribe. You have to be a member. Go to drkiltz.com to sign up, okay? And you have a great week.
All right, thank you, everybody. And with that, we're going to say goodbye and try to put this whole room back together again. Take the rest of the day off, everybody, and eat meat.